Vocabio. Master English your way.
Poder vivirlo. ¿Cuál es ese momento que te quedó grabado en tu corazón y que decís, no puedo creer que logré hacer esto?
Water carafe engraving course. 50 women.
Under like Boba Guy's inked umbrella group, because we're vertically engraved. If you guys don't know, the boba you're having is made in Hayward. So we actually have.
In this clinical trial, the company AstraZeneca actually discontinued the entire program. So they stopped.
Sanctions should be discontinued and military support for Ukraine continued.
And that was always really fun. I'm sure that was discontinued a very long time ago, but that was always one of the...
Also gone as far as to say we should discontinue the use of the term Asperger's. And
the land has become fertile, the pig farm was discontinued, and the barns were replaced by a tea museum.
Your way out of overthinking. You want to eject yourself out of the failure to launch mine pit by
Springs eject the satellite from the payload bay. And
it just had a Soyuz accident and the crew had to eject, if you will. So you might end up in Siberia.
It's cool to press the eject button. But also I asked...
Americans use the papoose. People do swaddling. People carry around the baby, which is a very good idea.
You mentioned the video of swaddling a baby. But there are so many things in the book that are surprising.
You know, a number of African cultures, what do? They swaddle their kids, right? So they wrap them up really tight.
Baby clothes and blankets and swaddles that fit in that drawer. So I
inevitably sort of swaddle it in all kinds of other layers. Entity subdivided by stacked spaces within it.
Areas, while they did have homes, the homes were subdivided, meaning instead of a single family living in a home, there was either two.
You take this protein in a box and you subdivide it. Just split it up according to all 3 dimensions.
That then is subdivided by this offset house shape.
Surprise, if you like, liberal theorists and prove that you can have rapid technological advance.
Down the road, I think, and prove me wrong within 6 weeks.
Or basic understanding that were proven wrong, or at least substantially different by the stories you and
post-colonial institutions, and that proved to be a really toxic mix.
Something to learn rather than something to prove. I don't know if it was COVID. I don't know.
Where China is trying to reboot from a distributed network into a centralized one. We're seeing the
being, in a sense, reboot your computer, reboot your system, rehabilitate yourself.
See, we have tools there and resources around rebooting your own relationship with social media, and discussion guides and
protocols, which was rebooted as Microsoft Word. And it's a little bit unfair to say
Cockney geezer could, kind of mingle around the markets in Camden, whereas I think myself,
shy, very kept to himself, didn't really want to mingle with anyone, didn't really want to.
It happened to us, where our personal lives are mingled with what we do professionally, and in my case,
एक राइटर सी मेरे अंदर 3 चीज़ां दा सुमेल हो गया फिर बाकी रह गया ਜਦੋਂ ਅਸੀਂ
difficult to mingle and convert more public housing, for example, into
Craigslist and then resell it. Yeah, I was like, yeah. We repair, we reuse, we resell, and we recycle.
And built a business for himself reselling tickets. And it had done
ticket business. So they can actually resell the ticket they already sold through their
coffee to someone in the town plaza who will maybe resell it to a miller who will then export it.
Well, a lot of people go on to Discover and start browsing, right? And I was trying to get this statistic.
Of searching types, okay, and browsing types, and one thing led to another thing, and things just
Search for layers. You're gonna have browse living atlas layers, and then you also have add
or other training to be able to browse this data. So if you're a clinician and you're not an informatician.
1,000 participants said they would rather browse Zillow for their dream home than have sex.
The jokes about breastfeeding and female incontinence and all these really horrible things. But
women to suckle puppies
to breastfeed puppies. This is not considered a weird.
Smoking, exercise, and even breastfeeding. Things that affect health are related to educational.
Valuable for pregnant women or breastfeeding women to opt for organic as much as possible.
You know, the people who are, you know, breastfeeding at 2 o'clock in the morning and searching the internet.
Scoops up their ingredients and your knives go dull. This saves your knife. It's also good for smashing garlic.
Thankfully, otherwise it'd probably be a kind of dull world. Like most people are busy and working.
That's unpleasant or boring or dull or repetitive. Actually, the more you do it.
Generally, we're just a big, dull European bank. And so I spent the next couple of years.
And then would heat them to a dull red heat for 14 hours and then set them aside.
Replacing it with another word, reframing what you say before you blurt it out. Those are domesticated words.
Facial twitches. And then blurting out sounds and words. Symptoms that you'd associate with something like Tourette.
Or you feel upset and there's your loving coworker and it just blurts out and you just...
Nonetheless, by blurting out what everyone could see within earshot of the other.
A flashlight, the way you'd use in a darkened room or a darkened pathway, right? Wherever it is that that flashlight is directed.
So they did a flyby.
It is called submerged. We had another name that we were going to...
Height, and you can see the box is submerged in the ground. That's what tells you you're close to impact there.
Less than 2 years later, it was completely submerged. However, there are also many...
Coat and just draped it over the bowl. And then on...
Imagined these kind of draped forms in CNC milled MDF.
The government building was draped in an American flag in 2020 in solidarity with...
Closed and the fuzzy remains of our rope draped over my shoulder. Alex had to walk close behind me because...
Cutting them and putting them on a body and seeing how they would drape on a woman's body. And that was the beginning of Zero. Rather
ask you to address the question that Michael posed quite directly.
Sure.
This idea that isn't meritocracy.
In the book, there was an interesting line at the beginning where you pose a question, Alex. You say, how could I...
Stronger in T-shirts, and we'd pose for selfies together, and we'd wish each other luck, and it was still...
Let me pose a counterfactual to sum up. Simon's argument is...
how they come across this. And you actually posed, didn't you, as a sort of young man as part of your research of the book?
About that in a second. And the other is the caramelized fennel with citrus and olives. So you've made it really easy.
It seems like it's never going to become caramelized. You can add a touch of salt. You add a touch of salt.
It is going to get some of that delicious, crispy, caramelized goodness at the bottom of that pot.
Onions. Or caramelized onions, and how much is
snips and the olives and that caramelized tomato paste. It's just like
and that's what she talked about.
Their sympathies started disabling me more than...
Throw your ideas into online jail and disable your account. An angry online mob sharing a...
Diagnosed with dystrophic dwarfism, a very disabling condition, and his parents were told that he would never walk.
She developed a disabling chronic disease at the age of 11.
Out by one means or another, disabling them or destroying them. And both Russia and China.
Vocabio, available in Google Play. Download, discover, improve your English.